All right, now, everybody. Quiet, listen to me. We're going to start a show.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club Podcast, your weekly animation discussion show. You can find episodes every week on the show's YouTube page, and if you like the show, subscribe and share it with your friends. Because that would be pretty rad.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Ink and Paint Club Podcast here on the Ink and Paint Club channel. Woohoo! Yeah. I am your host, JD, as always, and Kyle is also here.
I'm here, and I'm eating a bagel.
Bagels are always a good choice. And Melanie is here as well.
Hi.
Because some of today's show I need help with because I have a bad memory.
Yep.
So anyway, something cool happened to Kyle the other day, and
First time in his life.
no, cool shit happens to Kyle all the
Something cool
time.
has
Nothing
ever
cool happens to us. Because we live in Ohio and nothing happens here.
Oh.
But yeah, so something cool happened to Kyle, which we'll have him talk about. But I realized we couldn't stretch that into an hour. So today, we're going to be talking about some of the various animation industry people that we've met. Because thinking about it, between the three of us, we've met a good, nice handful of people.
I guess.
Chunk of people.
You guys have met way more than me.
You met a few.
And then the people I have met, I've met with you, so.
Yeah. You're more proactive about meeting them when we're
yeah.
there, though.
I'm obnoxious about it.
So Kyle, should we save your rad story for last so the viewers have something to hold on to?
Yeah, because I mean it happened last.
Okay. Well, I'll tell one of my stories first just because it's really short.
Okay.
I have actually met Tara Strong like one time. I don't remember what year it was. It might have been. I think it was still in high school. I think it was like 2008. I don't know.
It had to have been the time where Transformers Animated
Yeah,
because
because Transformers.
wasn't it?
Yeah, because me and my friend Chris went to BotCon, which is a Transformers convention, and it just happened to be in Cincinnati.
Sexy.
That one
You think
year.
there's a transgender Transformers convention?
Whoa.
You know, it wouldn't surprise me. Maybe.
Transgender
Anyway, so yeah, they had the BotCon in Cincinnati, and that was close enough for us to go. And you know, my friend Chris is a huge Transformers fan, and he really is into like the voice acting scene. So he's a big fan of Tara Strong. I like Tara fine. She's cool. So we went. BotCon was really cool. It seemed like more of a trade show than like a convention. There was like a live read, like Tara Strong and some of the other actors on the animated show did like a read of someone's fan script. I wasn't around for that because I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, that sounds kind of embarrassing.
Yeah, I hate it when like we can talk about that when we
I think it's online somewhere. I should post a link to it. It's actually
like when we went to that podcast. In
Oh
California.
shit, I also thought of
That was
another
horrible.
story.
Yeah, we'll have to tell that story too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Chris and I waited in line because the animated voice actors, I think it was Tara Strong was there, I think David Kay and what's his name? Bumper Robinson were there. I don't know any of their work outside of Transformers, but meeting Tara was actually kind of disappointing.
Oh.
Not because of anything Tara did. Because it was more of the BotCon staff kind of made it kind of terrible. Because we stood in line for like a good 40 minutes. It was like $25, $30 just to get an autograph, and you weren't allowed to take pictures with the voice actors.
Oh,
Like, the voice actors were like, they were fine. They were like, oh, if it wasn't for the staff, we'd do it. I took a few pictures of Tara, so I have pictures of Tara that I took, and I have a picture of my friend Chris talking to Tara because I was behind him in line. And Chris, I don't know if he still has the recording anywhere. He got Tara to say something in Timmy Turner's voice. And he had the video. I don't know what he's done with that video, but Tara's very nice. I have her autograph on a couple things.
So lately I've been talking to you about my opinions on like Tara Strong.
Yeah.
And Gray Delisle and Tom Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
So they're fantastic voice actors, and this is just something that like lately, and especially because of the new Samurai Jack episodes have been coming out, and this is just something personal that I've been experiencing, where I'm having problems anytime I'm watching like animated shows now, like having a unique feeling of like connection towards animated characters these days, because they're all voiced by the same people. So
and not only that, but the same voice.
Yeah.
So I'm having problems. So especially with the new Samurai Jack show, the main character girl Ashi,
like you could tell it's Tara.
it sounds like Tara. And maybe in the beginning she did like a more raspy kind of Asian accent thing, but now it's just like
It's just falling into her own voice.
so now it literally sounds like Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony is voicing this badass ninja warrior.
Yeah, like you and I were talking about, we were walking around the other day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, there's a small handful of voice actors that, like we said, they do great work, and you know, nothing wrong with their performances. It's just like they're so oversaturated that it's hard to. It's hard to. It's because especially now that we live in an age where we follow these people on social media, we know what they look like, we have a face to put to a voice.
Yeah.
That it's hard to like watch these and not think, oh, that's Tara or that's Gray or that's Tom Kenny, which I will give to Tom.
Literally all three of those actors are in the new Samurai Jack show.
I will give it to Tom Kenny. At least he tries to switch it up sometimes.
I just think like, so it really annoys me because, I mean, I know there's a lot of talented actors out there. There's a lot of talented voices out there. But I just feel like they go to these three people just because it's like a safe choice. It's like, oh, we know they can do it.
Yeah, they're reliable.
They're reliable. But it's so frustrating because they sound the same. Like, even when they try to like mix their voice range up, they still sound the same. So, and we were talking about how like Tara Strong has like three voices. She has like baby boy, baby girl, and Tara.
It's probably a little more than that, but I get your point.
She's got like Bubbles, Timmy Turner, and
Ben 10.
then I mean, yeah, and they all sound. I mean, which is fine, but
I think
it's just frustrating.
at least for like children stuff, like
Yeah.
with Samurai Jack, I think it's just because Gendy's worked with all these people before. But
I
I think
I'm
at
sure,
least
like,
for
when I was a little kid, I didn't care.
Right.
Like I never noticed.
like kids aren't gonna notice,
Yeah.
even if they do, they're gonna be like, oh, that sounds like that one character that I like. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what they're going for. But I agree.
That's
Go ahead, Kyle.
I was gonna say that's what I'm wondering, because they did work with each other, and I'm wondering if it's kind of like a director thing, because certain directors work with certain actors.
Oh, yeah.
just
They
like
just know I mean,
Tim
yeah,
Burton and Johnny
Oh
Depp
yeah,
and stuff.
plenty. I mean, Wes Anderson uses the same cavalcade of actors in all his movies.
And that's the thing though. It's like I don't mind that. I mean, they do great work, but also at the same time, it's just like I have a hard time finding a uniqueness with characters. Like I have a hard time growing with characters. Like this new character in Samurai Jack, I'm having such a hard time differentiating her voice from her character, because I've heard that voice so many times. Like she basically is not her own character to me anymore. Now she's just Tara Strong to me. Like when I watch it.
Yeah.
Like the guy who voices Samurai Jack, I know he's done other stuff, but I have no idea what he's done. Like, so for me, when I
Phil
hear that,
Lamar.
I have no idea what he's done.
He was Hermes on Futurama.
I don't that.
Yeah.
I love Phil Lamar. He
But-
was Green Lantern on Justice League.
Okay, but those all sound really different to me. But those are so different from each other, and that's the only three that you're naming, and those all happened far apart from one another, in a sense.
No,
Like Futurama was on Adult Swim, you know, like.
yeah. No, I get you. It's just.
But yeah, it's just so it's like when I hear Samurai Jack's voice, I'm like, okay, I don't think of a face for this character. I don't think of he sounds like such and such. Like,
yeah.
I'm able to just watch the show contently and focus on. Anyway, I don't know. I got off point, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I wish they would find new voices
Right.
because it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Like you don't see Disney movies grabbing the same.
What are you talking about? They use Jim Cummings all the time.
Yeah, but those are for like background characters. I'm not talking about like the main characters. Like
Dude, his range though.
Jim
yeah,
Cummings is
he
a
does
huge
a
range.
fuck ton of stuff.
Speaking of Jim Cummings, we met him that one
Yeah,
time.
we met him. That was really
Mel
cool.
has a picture hugging him.
I
It's adorable.
do. He was so cute.
Kyle, that was the one time we met Kyle in like real life.
Yeah, the first time we met Kyle, so we went out to California.
Yeah.
And this was like
You
totally
met
spur of the
both
moment.
Kyles that
We
night.
did meet both Kyles that night.
We did meet both Kyles that night.
Yeah, that was fun.
I didn't.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but
Well, I had no idea who the
right.
other Kyle was.
we did. So Rob Paulson, as you may or may not know, does his own podcast where he interviews like voice actors and stuff. But occasionally he does like a live show at this comedy club in LA. And
cool.
Kyle was for like the Disney Afternoon voice actors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, Jim Cummings was there. Was Bill Farmer there?
I don't know. There was a really old guy
I don't
there.
I
remember.
don't remember who else was there.
I just remember Jim Cummings and
Yeah, there's a few other Disney
Oh, it was like the guy who does like Chip and Dale,
Mm-hmm.
because he was also doing like Ludwig von Drake,
Oh, that's right.
different voices like that. I don't really remember his name though.
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah. I mean, this is 2 or 3 years ago, so I don't remember. But yeah, we went. We had a good time. You know, it was fun. I didn't have a lot of reference for these people because I didn't. Again, like I've mentioned in the last couple episodes, I've never watched the Disney Afternoon shows before. But I know who Jim Cummings is.
yeah, he does. I mean,
Um,
so people listening, if you don't know Jim Cummings, he did Pooh Bear. He did
he's
Pete.
He's Disney's go-to guy. You've probably heard Jim Cummings on literally everything that Disney's ever made.
He wasn't like the original Pooh Bear though, like from the 70s.
No.
Maybe. No, but
Yeah.
He's just the modern Pooh Bear.
yeah, modern Pooh Bear.
Same as Ka.
He does a lot of
The
singing
snake.
voice. So in Lion King, he did.
Oh yeah,
partially
because
Scar's,
Jeremy Irons blew his voice out
singing voice for Scar's song. He's in
like the second half.
in
of that song.
Pocahontas. He's the chief's singing voice.
Oh, God. Okay, that really throws me off. Because it's like they have like this, they have this actual Native American actor as the chief in Pocahontas, and then it's just Jim Cummings as his
Yeah,
singing voice.
but honest to God, I like. Well, now that I'm older, I'm like, oh hey, Jim.
Oh, I knew
Cummings.
immediately. It
Oh,
sounded
and he's
weird.
in Skyrim.
Oh yeah, which relates to another story I'll tell in a little bit.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So
Um,
we got to meet them. That was really cool.
Well, it was kind of sad when we went to that, because I think after the show, they had intended to have a table set up outside where they would sign stuff.
But it was raining.
It was raining.
It never rained.
So they can't.
It never rained.
I think it was sprinkling a little bit. Maybe it wouldn't have been that bad.
Maybe.
It was like
But
the first time California had rain like all year.
the day we
Yeah.
showed
the
up
day
was the
we
first
showed
time it
up.
rained in a long time. But most of the actors were really nice and stood outside and took pictures and signed stuff, just standing around. And we went up to Jim Cummings and Mel gave him a hug and I took a picture of it.
He was really nice, and you know, it sucks. I would have loved to have gotten his autograph, but we had just gotten off a plane. We had nothing for him
Had
to
nothing.
sign. There were people there though with like freaking portfolios
Oh yeah, they had like posters
of
and
shit
stuff.
for them to sign. It was, and I was like, I
People
asked.
make a living off of
I was
that
like, oh,
shit,
can I
though.
have one? And they're like, no. And I was like, oh, can I buy one from you so I can? And they were like, no, because yeah, they're gonna sell them for like.
Yeah, they're gonna sell it online.
So that sucked. I would have loved to have got
Um,
an autograph,
that's-
but
That's how they make a living. They go to fucking Kinko's with
yeah,
their fucking
that's literally what they did.
stuff.
Well, and I think that's so goddamn rude because then they have like 1,200 pictures for these poor people to sign. Like,
Mel, you're assuming these people care.
that's just
Just-
rude.
Yeah, trust me, I saw the same thing a couple nights ago.
Like, they don't care about meeting these people as people. They're just like, sign my shit so I can make money. Like,
Mhm.
it's just annoying. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
be respectful. Like, damn.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Did
we
we
were.
even see Rob Paulson? I don't
we
even
did.
remember.
Well,
I
we
didn't
saw him
see
at the
him.
show. We didn't go talk to him. I
don't remember him being out.
yeah,
though.
I don't think Rob was outside. I
I
think it was
had
just
to,
the
like-
panel people.
I had to like squeeze my way in though to meet
You had
Jim
to fight to
Cummings
see Jim.
because, and I gave him a hug and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, thank you for my childhood," and he was like, "Oh, you're so sweet." Like he was really nice. So
Yeah, Jim seems like a
yeah, and
really-
then we left because I mean there was a lot going on. I felt so, and they were like standing and it was like raining a little bit, and they were just like, "I want to go home." Like
they're old.
I felt
a
bad.
lot of the
Yeah.
guys on the panel were like fucking upwards of 60.
Oh my god,
so
yeah, there was like this really old dude. Oh, so what we were saying was like so fucking awkward was at the end they were like taking requests or something or answering questions, right?
Oh.
And this one dude was like, "Can you pretend to be Winnie the Pooh fighting with?"
Yeah,
It was
it's
so
it was like
weird.
some really obviously like
Obviously,
autistic fan like stood up
who
and was,
never leaves his house. Like,
was like asking if
Jim Cummings
Wait,
would like.
didn't he ask with the puppet or
Yeah,
something like
it was-
that?
Yeah, he was
So
like carrying like a
weird.
Pooh Bear around with him.
It was like two really obscure characters and like one like badass character that Jim Cummings voiced.
Yeah, and,
I don't know.
Like the voice actors were very obviously confused by that.
He
I mean,
was like, do a fighting scene with you and these two.
like God bless them, they tried,
kids.
but
Like, that's just embarrassing. Like, stop, dude.
and Andre the Black Nerd was there, but I didn't go talk to
I
him
don't
because
know
I didn't
who
want to
that is.
bother him.
I remember.
I don't know who that is.
He's a YouTube person.
Oh.
I wanted to go talk to him, but I didn't find him after
But
the
then
show.
we got to meet Kyle Carosa,
Yeah,
and
He's
that was
cool.
And then he took us to lunch, so that was cool.
yeah.
Um,
LA trip was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. We did a lot of stuff. And then, so Carosa took us. Kyle Carosa is the creator of Mighty Magiswords. And I had no idea who this dude was prior. Like,
Really?
I had no idea who he was.
Oh.
That was like when I
Damn.
met him, like knew about him was
Oh,
that
weird.
trip. And so, because you were like, oh, we're going to meet my one other friend, Kyle. And I was like, what? So we met him. That was pretty chill. And then he took us, that was really cool. He took us to Cartoon Network and showed us like
His office.
his office. So that was really cool. And I like
Yeah.
did not want to leave.
Cause, well, it was weird. Cause we met up with Kyle and his wife, who also works on Magiswords. And they took us to this restaurant down the street. I forget what it's
This
called.
is like sandwich restaurant.
It's some
I
sandwich
took
restaurant.
a bunch of pictures.
It's like around the corner from Cartoon
Maybe you
Network.
can upload some of the
Maybe.
pictures I took.
Yeah, and it was cool because like there's this back room where all these artists from like Nickelodeon and Disney and Cartoon Network like, all go
Yeah,
and they draw on the wall, and so there's all these characters from the original
yeah,
artists.
there
on the
was
wall.
like a big picture of like Mordecai from Regular Show.
yeah,
on
like
there,
JJ
and
Quintel drew it and stuff. So that was kind of
Adventure
cool.
Time.
To
Yeah,
see.
even like Japanese artists.
Mhm.
I guess it's just like this thing they do.
Yeah.
Excuse me, at this
Um,
restaurant, but so
but-
that was cool. And like,
Well, then we went to the then Kyle basically told us like, do you want to stay here and just like sketch and stuff? Because he brought a sketchbook and stuff, or do you want to see the studio? Because he only had time for one. It was like, I think he'd rather see the inside of
I didn't
an
realize that.
animation
I don't
studio.
remember that. Yeah, because I was so like freaking
Um,
fangirling at the fact that
yeah.
Cartoon Network was across the street. So it sucks we didn't get to like. He just showed us like his floor.
Which is fine.
It was awesome. No, I was fangirling like crazy.
Yeah.
And he
It was
took
a-
us into his office and showed us before Magiswords.
Yeah,
was-
because it was like before all the digital shorts were being
Yeah.
put out, so
so he showed us
which was
the
kind of cool.
episodes. It was really cool. We
Yeah.
got to see him before a lot of
Um,
people did, and
Showed a lot of the concept
yeah,
art to keep
concept
on the
art.
wall.
Yeah, that was really cool. We got to see the cubicles people worked in.
So that
And
was
then-
kind of cool.
Yeah, I was trying to like prolong the visit because I was like, I don't want to leave. It's so
But
cool.
but then he's like, I
It
gotta
was
get back to work.
pretty obvious,
'Cause
yeah,
it was
he
basically
wa-
just his lunch
he
break.
was like, leave, dudes.
So
But
yeah.
it was really
Okay.
nice that he took us.
I think I found the place. Is it called Moore's?
That sounds right.
I don't know.
I think so.
Oh, and then we walked down to the Nickelodeon
Yeah.
because it was like across the river.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it was a good 20-minute walk from Cartoon Network, but yeah, it's across our.
We
we
literally
didn't-
just stood outside the gate and we're like, oh, there's Nickelodeon.
all the interns were getting stuff from a
getting,
burrito
like-
truck.
Yeah. I wanted to like sneak in so bad.
We tried.
Yeah, I did.
We asked two girls if we could get inside.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
They were like, no.
'Cause they worked
weirdos.
there.
They probably thought we were like hobos.
Probably.
Because like they have like this big ass gate like
Yeah.
closed off, and I was just like staring. I was like, let me in.
Yeah.
Because I'm
I
so.
mean,
I don't even think they're out there anymore.
I
I
don't
think
know.
they have
oh
a
yeah,
whole
because
new office.
because Nickelodeon recently made a new building.
Oh, did
I
they?
don't know if the old building's still there, but I know they have a big office building
Either
now.
way, I have problems.
Kyle, tell us a story. We've been yammering on.
Yeah. Anyways, back when I was in high school and
Oh yeah, this story.
and the world was in front of me,
Okay.
I was invited to Frederator to do like storyboards or something.
That's cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was for the random cartoons,
Oh,
but it
that's
was basically like, oh yeah,
Oh
season
yeah, cartoons.
whatever.
Mhm.
Well, anyways, I went a couple times to Nickelodeon, and I met a few voice actors. So around the time period was when I think El Tigre was still in production.
Mhm.
So we had went over to Nickelodeon, and we had to sign in and everything. And then the people from Frederator would pick us up, and Frederator was in a... They were in like a suites that were next door.
Mhm.
you kind of had to exit the building and walk like 20 feet, and they had their offices. Well, anyways, waiting for these people to pick us up, I saw Kevin Michael Richardson. And, like, I knew who this guy was. He's, like, the biggest black dude I've ever seen. The guy was, like, a mountain of a man. And I got to talk to him a bit, and he was, like, wishing me luck and everything.
Aww.
I don't know what he was going to be on.
Who knows?
Yeah. But in that trip, too, I met Nicole Sullivan.
Oh, yeah.
And she was checking in herself as well.
Who's that?
And yeah, they were hanging out. There was a recording studio on the bottom floor. They were just kind of hanging out in that area.
Yeah.
So those people were cool.
Nicole Sullivan, because Mal just asked, she was on Mad TV, and she was
Shigo.
there you go.
Shigo.
Yeah, she was Shigo on Kim Possible.
She does voices. The only thing I really know her from is she's the dog walker on King of Queens.
Oh, that's right. And she was on a couple episodes of Scrubs too.
I don't remember. I just watched that show too.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But see, that's a voice actress they could bring back, and I would be like, oh, that's unique.
All right.
Because I don't know
Yeah.
who the fuck that is.
Yeah.
But obviously she's good at what she does, because she's been in the profession before.
Oh.
Oh, and you know,
She's-
someone else who I don't, who has a great range is, guy who plays Jake the Dog.
John DiMaggio.
John DiMaggio. He plays a fuck ton of things, and I'm always like, oh, whoa.
I thought he was the orcs in Samurai Jack.
I think he's been on the new Samurai Jack.
No, but he does a lot of stuff.
He's the Scotsman.
He was the Scotsman
Yeah.
already, but I thought he was the orcs in the newest
I
one.
don't know,
Maybe.
but he's also the Scotsman. He's the Scotsman, Jake the Dog, Bender,
He was the Joker once
once.
in
Which
the
I hope
in the
never
Red
again.
Hood movie.
I hope he's
He
never-
I
wasn't.
think he did a good
He was,
job.
I
with
think
that.
he was. I think he was a good, passable Joker for that movie.
I'm just so biased
I
with
know
my
you are.
Joker.
I know
really
you are.
am.
I know you are.
I'm really biased when it comes to the Batman.
You want to
animated
suck
series.
Mark Hamill's dick.
I do.
Kevin-
Even
Not,
though-
I don't want to suck
Kevin-
his dick. I want to suck his voice dick. Just as the Joker, though.
Well,
Gross.
Like, well, when it comes to anything about the Batman animated series, like Bruce Timm, the original Harley Quinn, anything like that, I'm so biased towards.
So you don't like Tara's Harley now?
I don't at all. But that goes
Kevin
back
Michael
to my
Richardson played Joker.
What?
fucking who?
Kevin Michael Richardson played
He
the
sure
Joker
did.
I don't know who that is.
in The Batman.
Remember the big, the Joker with the big like
Barefoot.
fucking lion
Like
mane of a hair.
dreadlocks, yeah. He was alright.
I like that show. I just hate that version. Of the
I don't like
Joker.
his. Yeah, I don't like that design.
Yeah.
They tried to clean it up later when they gave him a suit, but like he's just too big.
Yeah, I don't like
See, like,
gorilla in that
I-
show.
I like his voice. Sometimes he doesn't have. I don't know. Because, see, that could be direction, too. Hey, just sound like this.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Michael Richardson always usually sounds like Gantu to me from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah,
And that's just his, I guess,
I
normal
like that
speaking
voice,
voice.
yeah. I mean, he's a.
I like that burly voice.
He's got that big, deep voice, just normally.
That's the kind of voice I would just.
But then
lay in
it's
bed with.
weird because like he's got an amazing range because he's also Cleveland Jr. on the Cleveland Show, and that's like his high pitched squeaky
Oh my
voice.
Lord, I didn't know that.
Well, no, like, he can do the. He's the hillbilly guy on the Cleveland show.
Oh, that's right.
And he can be like almost doing a white guy voice.
Yeah.
White guy voice.
Like he's pretty good with that.
Yeah.
But that's what I think is it might just be their direction. Hey, sound like this.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's so funny that the Joker, like before Batman the animated series, the like go-to Joker was Jack Nicholson in that movie. And then they were like telling Mark Hamill, they were like, don't do Jack Nicholson. And now it's like everyone loves Mark Hamill's Joker.
Everyone's
It's
trying to
like
be Mark Hamill.
now they're trying to like do something different from Mark Hamill, but he's just so good at it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't just the animated. I mean, he did the Arkham games too. Like he does a
The
lot of
Arkham
Joker.
games. He's in that the new Justice League show that
Yeah.
they got him back.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you said he was done.
I thought he was too.
So-
But I guess they got him and Conroy back for that new Justice League show.
So around that time too,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like my second or third trip. And this was around the time of LT Gray again. I saw Carlos Alzaraki,
Oh yeah.
who did Rocco's voice. And he does a bunch, like Camp Laszlo. He was Laszlo.
He
I never really got into that show.
like him and Jorge must be like really good friends because pretty much anything that Jorge's worked on, like he always gets Carlos. Like he was in El Tigre, I'm sure, a couple times, and he was in Book of Life.
He was the grandpa.
Oh, that's right, he was.
So that's what I mean is around that time, I think they were recording for El Tigre, and Carlos Alzaraki was there, probably for like a table read or something. But he's done like the Taco Bell dog. He's done like all these different voices. He was on He was on Reno 911.
Oh, that's right, he was.
And all that.
I watched that show. I saw the movie.
I did too.
Really gross.
What a gross movie.
But I thought that was neat. And then aside from that as well, a couple years back, I don't even remember. I think it was like a Cartoon Brew thing that I found. I don't even use that site anymore. The fucking guy's crazy. But they were doing a Rocco's Modern Life show.
Oh, they did like they did like a live read or something, right?
Yeah, it was the 20th anniversary of Rocco, and all the voice actors was there. It was Carlos Alzaraki, the creator Joe Murray, Tom Kenny was there,
Mr. Lawrence there.
Mr. Lawrence was there, and then I always forget this guy's name. He's Mr. Big Head, everything.
Oh, Charlie Adler.
There you go. Charlie Adler was there too. I fucking love Charlie Adler.
He's pretty cool.
But they did a live read of Wacky Deli.
Of course they did.
It was the best shit. It was the best shit ever. Then they did a bunch of fan questions. This was around the time of Wreck-It Ralph. Because this guy kept bragging about how he worked on the movie and he was in line with us.
Oh,
but the guy, it was, I think Dan Povenmire and Jeff Swampy Marsh were there too.
Swampy Marsh.
It's the guys who made Phineas and Ferb.
And they worked on SpongeBob.
Yes, that's true.
But they were there and they were saying that they wrote the Recycle episode. That whole thing was theirs, so they did a acoustic version of the Recycle song.
That's funny.
And all the songs from that episode.
Yeah.
So that was a fun time.
I think didn't they write a lot of the songs in Rocco? And that's kind of why they put songs into Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah. Well, I think they were killing to do a musical episode, and they just wouldn't let them. Yeah. And then they finally did, and that's what they wanted to do. But that was a good time. Yeah. I got a poster signed.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, we met the guy who plays Max.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I meant to segue into this earlier when we brought up Skyrim. So there's this convention in Columbus that we went mostly because Jason Marsden was there, and partly because we had a friend that was gonna go. So yeah, we met Jason Marsden, who I'm sure is. Let's see, what do I know him from? He's Max. He's Goofy's son, Max. He was Timmy's friend with the braces on.
For a little bit.
And he was
Chester.
Yeah.
Chester. He's been in a bunch of random, like he was in a random episode of Avatar.
He does a lot of like extra voices.
Here there.
But we took some stuff for him to sign. Mel brought him our copy of the Goofy movie.
And Skyrim.
Well, that's what I brought him a copy of Skyrim because I think it's hilarious that Mel will be running around the thing and like Jason Marsden is sitting in a tavern singing a song. And Jim Cummings is in that game too.
Yeah. So
but
we said to him,
that's what I wanted to bring up is that he was citing Skyrim and it was like I told him like it's really cool that that you and Jim Cummings show up. He looks at me as like Jim Cummings is in that game.
He says, "Oh, Jimmy."
He's like I didn't know Jimmy was in that game.
Said Jimmy.
Because apparently everyone calls him Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Like all of his voice actor friends call him.
But it was really weird because Jason was like wearing like pajama pants, and it did not look like he was wearing underwear because his dick was just like.
And he's so short.
He's really short.
He's shorter than we are.
I don't think was he wearing shoes. I don't know. He was.
I think so.
It looked like he just kind of woke up and
Maybe.
like
Maybe.
was there.
Um,
That was such the calm was lame.
no, but he was so Jason Marsden was really cool because he was like,
Yeah, he was really chill.
like, I mean, the line wasn't that long, but he took time to like talk to everybody.
Yeah.
He made sure that anyone who wanted a picture with him, he posed for him. So he was really cool.
Yeah, and he said he liked my dress.
What were you wearing that day?
My Zelda dress.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, he's a really cool dude, and we've got a copy of Skyrim and the Goofy movie signed by him now that sits on our shelf.
Sure do.
So that was pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, Kyle, because I don't think we've told a whole lot about this. Tell about your time with Maxwell Adams. All that shit
Oh
you've
yeah,
been
that was
doing.
really cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
You know, like had a whole thing with that.
Well, I didn't mean I forgot.
No.
He's done voice work in his own show.
Right.
He was Jeff the Spider.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Oh my god, I love Jeff. Oh.
Just wants love.
Yeah, that's his voice.
Aw.
So before this, I met Maxwell at a goth bar.
Okay.
God.
Yeah. Before everything, I met Max at a goth bar, and it was because one of Aries' favorite, it's not really a band, but one of her favorite singers was playing that night. It was like the almost Halloween party in a sense. Everybody was dressed up, and it was really awesome. Well, anyways, the guy's name is Voltaire,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's done a bunch of songs for the show too. He did the Brain song,
Oh, that's a weird.
and he's done a few other songs for the show as well. But anyways, we're there to see him.
Staccato. I should probably turn this off.
Probably.
Sorry, everybody.
Continue, Kyle.
Well, we went to see him, and he's like a vinyl artist as well. Or he's an artist too, so he draws, he does like vinyl toys and stuff.
Okay.
So it was kind of cool to see him, but during the show he's like, "Oh yeah, I did the song on this show, and Max is with us tonight." And I was like, "Oh shit." So I looked it up on my phone. I'm like, "Okay, that's what he looks like." So when the show was over, we were waiting for Voltaire at his merch booth, and I saw Max waiting in line as well. So I had talked to him for a little bit, and I had a money on me, and the monies are the blank vinyl toys. So I had him draw a Grim on it,
That's adorable.
and he was just like, "You carry this around with you wherever you go, in case you meet someone?" So it's like, yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
So I met him around that time, and I think I became Facebook friends with him after
Nice.
that. But anyways, he was doing the Kickstarter for Dead Meat,
Oh, yeah.
and I wanted to support that because I do like his work. His work is always great. So supported him on that. I paid maybe around $100, something. Well, anyways, I think it was last year. He was like, "Hey, is anybody in the area that wants to help out with the movie? I could use like people to make crafts and stuff, make like guns or puppet corpses or whatever."
Corpses.
Yeah. So I had went over there, and there was a few people, and went by his house. His house is really nice.
Maxwell Adams is?
Yeah,
I would hope so.
it was pretty nice, and he's got like giant statues of Billy and
Oh my
Mandy
God.
outside his house.
Like just in the front yard.
That'd be something, Kyle, you would do.
Yeah, it's kind of where like the carport is.
That's
Amazing.
awesome. Did you take a picture of that?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to see.
So I was making like a puppet corpse out of
Corpse.
newspapers and shit. Just like a bunch of random junk, and I made this like monster. I had some fun with it. But I went to his house like multiple times, like 3 or 4 times.
That's awesome.
And it seemed like every time I went, less and less people went.
Oh. Weird.
And I think we've become okay friends from that.
Nice.
Because I'll post something and he'll like my status or something, or
Does he
he'll
ever
be supportive.
like ask for any more help on stuff, or?
He hasn't since last year,
Oh, that's
but
too
I
bad.
think he's busy working on other stuff. Cause he's juggling his job. I think he's working at Warner Brothers right now.
Yeah, because isn't he
That's
working on
cool.
that Bunnicula show or something?
Is it the
I
Nicola
know
show?
he was working on that, but I don't know if that's over yet.
Cool.
But
That's really neat.
yeah,
Didn't he give you like
um,
some advice on your show and stuff on what you want to do?
I was getting
Oh,
to
sorry.
that.
Patience, dear.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, after the first day, when everybody was going home, it was around like 8 or 9 at night. It was a fucking long time. Everybody had gone home. I was kind of like meandering.
Mhm.
And I'm like, hey, do you have your original, like, pitch Bible? Because that's the thing. When I meet someone famous, I don't want to be like the guy with the fucking Winnie the Pooh puppet. I am fucking afraid to be like that
Yeah.
guy. I do not want to be that person. So I'm always, like, really careful with what I say or what I do. So I asked him, like, hey, do you have your pitch Bible? I would like to see kind of how one's made. I'm kind of working on something myself. So he was like, oh, I don't know if I have it for Billy and Mandy, but I have, another one that never made it.
Oh.
I was like, oh shit. So he was showing me all this stuff. It was really great. I wish I remembered its name, but it was like a space adventure.
Cool.
Looking at it, fucking fantastic. And then I'm like, oh, here's kind of what I've been working on. I showed him what we've done so far.
Right.
And he seemed to really like it. So the next time I came over, his girlfriend was like, oh, you're that guy who showed Max his your drawings. He's like, he really liked it. He said you're a really good artist.
Awesome.
So I was just like, oh shit, like he talked about me.
Aw.
Like, so
That's awesome.
that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
it made me feel good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I like Max. Max is amazing.
Seems like he'd be quirky in real life.
Yeah.
A little
To make a
bit.
show like that. Man, I'm telling you what. I don't know if I would have let my kids watch Billy and Mandy.
I would have.
There's,
Oh my lord.
there's
in
some
heaven.
pretty good jokes in there.
It's so inappropriate.
It's the best kind of inappropriate.
You know what though? Like I thought Billy and Mandy was funny, but I hated that bear show with the brain.
Oh, con carne.
I hated that show. I thought that was so gross and just stupid.
I liked it. It seemed like it could have been a little plot heavy, almost like Samurai Jack, because it had a kind of a story. He was trying to retrieve his body.
Right.
I was kind of wishing it would go a little bit more, but
Cartoon Network
it wasn't
canceled.
as popular.
It was so
Yeah.
weird because like they build Billy and Mandy and Evil Con Carne together originally, and then they like, oh, Billy and Mandy's more popular, so they split it off. And then it was like
Yeah.
a couple years later they decided to like let Evil Con Carne be its own thing, but it like didn't last
It
very
did not
long.
last long at all.
From what I heard, it was just like it was hard to make a shared universe between the two,
Mhm.
and then it was hard to work on two shows at the same time.
Right.
So they kind of just stopped.
Just go with the more popular choice.
Yeah. But I mean, it was
Just thought it was
popular. It had a
gross.
video game. It actually had
I didn't know that.
like McDonald toys and
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Ugh. I don't know. I just like
Well, Billy and
one
Mandy
thing I
did.
hated about like Maxwell Adams, and maybe it was just that show specific. It was like just butts everywhere,
He does like no
like big bubble butts everywhere. And don't get me wrong, like the occasional bubble butt is fucking hilarious. But I just hated how in that show there was just butts everywhere.
butts.
God, just asses all up in your face.
All the asses.
Too much ass.
Oh. Yeah.
Jeez.
Did you do anything else with Maxwell, Kyle?
No, I was planning. I'm not sure if he actually listens to this or
Probably
not.
not.
But I was planning him to send him a pitch Bible when we're done making it.
Yeah, when we get
Cool.
around to
And then,
finishing that up.
Do it.
Yeah, well, I want to give him a pitch Bible, and I wanted to send him a figure too.
Oh yeah.
Once I'm
Aw.
done making it.
Yeah, Cal paid someone to make his character into a 3D model. And he's
Yeah,
gonna
it's
put
really
it
cool. I thought it turned out really nice.
up. Yeah,
So hopefully when that becomes a toy, I'll give him one.
that's pretty cool.
I want to do that with my little bunny character.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cute.
But Mel and I met another Max.
We did meet another Max.
So if you're a fan of internet cartoons, you probably know who Hot Diggity Demon is. He's done a lot of really messed up cartoons, funny stuff, but it's
Yeah,
not
really
for the faint of heart. I'll put
Yeah.
it that way.
Well, I don't think his stuff seems too crazy these days.
He's tamed it down.
Yeah,
a
I
lot.
think he's tamed down a lot.
But anyway, Mel, tell this story because you're more involved in the story than I am.
Well, I mean, so I'm the kind of person where when I sit down and I'm talking about celebrities, I'm like, they're just people, whatever. Like, I don't understand why people freak out. And then when I actually meet celebrities, I freak out.
You do.
So when we met Max, he came to our little hometown anime convention.
Yeah, that
at
our college has every year.
college, yeah. And I messaged him ahead of time on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I saw you're going to be in town. You know, I'd love to take you out to eat. Me and my fiance would love to take you out to eat. You know, if you'd like that, we could show you around town. You know, let us know. He was like, all right, I'll let you know. Whatever. So then we met him the next day, and
Just doing his table.
yeah, he was just at his table.
Well, wasn't he supposed to do a panel
yeah,
that
and
morning?
then
But
he didn't want to. Or
he
something.
canceled it.
Yeah, he just didn't feel like
yeah,
it.
whatever.
And so I don't know. I hovered a lot around his booth.
Yeah,
And-
because like that and the Ava's Demon Lady that you like so much,
Yeah.
like they had like tables right next to her, and like you, like there was plenty of stuff we could have been doing. You just hovered
I
in that
did.
corner all
I
day.
was super creepy, which is probably why I haven't had many boyfriends. But
I'm right here.
but
God damn.
yeah. Well, so one of my favorite webcomic artists was also there, and it was just really cool because like our convention never gets people.
We had the Nostalgia Critic a couple years
And,
before, but that's about it.
2 people at the same year, I was like, whoa! So anyway, I went up to Max Gilardi's table, and I was like, oh, I was the girl who messaged you on Facebook. I don't know if you remember me. And he was like, yep. And I was like, okay. And he was so goddamn chill. And that's just like the kind of person he is. He's just really chill. So I was like, okay, well, you know, the offer still stands if you want to meet up later. And he was like, cool, I'm going to be here for a while. And then I was like, all right. Then we went to Ava's Demon panel, and yeah, I hovered a bunch, and
You did.
because I'm a weirdo.
You went back to her
I
table.
also offered her to take her out to dinner, but she was like, nah.
You went back to their table like
I was like
every 20 minutes you're back at their
I
tables.
was there like constantly. I was so weird.
Jeez.
I was just like,
I-
Mel, come on, they're
yeah.
people, let them live.
I know. Well, so we bought some posters,
Mhm.
and Max drew us some sketches.
Yeah, still got those somewhere.
Yeah, and I drew him some sketches. I don't think he liked mine though, because
Oh.
I drew him with a tiny penis. And so then later on, when we were home, he texted us and he was like, "All right, Dork, what are we doing?" And so we went and picked him up at his hotel, and we took him out to eat.
Got him chicken wings.
Because it was funny.
He was
'cause
jonesing for some wings.
he was really jonesing for wings. Well, because he was like, what did he say? He wanted to go get a drink or something. And then when we were actually there, we were like, we don't drink. He was like, that's just kind of what people say they're going to do.
Yeah.
So it was really funny because we were both like, we don't drink either.
Yeah, because, yeah.
So we took him to get, and then we took him to Insomnia Cookie because he was like, holy shit. There's
Oh, yeah.
Cookies.
There's this cookie place that I used to work for. I don't know if it's a nationwide thing. I think it's mostly a Midwestern
anyway.
thing, but they serve cookies till like 3 in the morning.
awesome.
And they'll deliver them to your house. And I
Yeah.
miss them. I don't miss working for them.
God damn.
Anyway, like,
Why don't we have
I know.
anything like that
They're
out here?
amazing.
Like the closest one
But
to us.
walking next to him, he is like a big dude. He's so tall.
He's like over 6 feet
Dude,
tall.
he's like a big guy. And then I don't know how the heck we got, but he came back to our apartment.
I just watched YouTube for
And
an
we
hour.
watched like YouTube videos, and he showed us Wander Over Yonder, and
He played with our cat.
he played with our cats because he loves cats. He's got 2 cats of his own, and he was like, "Oh my god, I love your cat."
Adolf in toilet.
Yeah, he has 2 cats named Adolf and Toilet. And
Because of course they were.
and we took him back, and it was fine. Then a couple days later, or I messaged him, and I was like, you know, cool hanging out with you. It was fine. And I didn't expect to really hear from him again. And then a couple days later, he starts messaging me on pretty regularly on Facebook. Because I guess he's just kind of a shut-in. And he lived in Florida at the time. And he had just broken up with like his really serious girlfriend or something. He probably would not want me telling him all this stuff. Anyway, he just started messaging me a lot, and was always high, and we just would talk about the weirdest shit.
You like talking with your friend Josh?
Yeah, and he and I would start chatting pretty much daily, just about the weirdest shit, you know, and he was pretty chill, normal dude, and I was like, all right, I should chill the fuck out. He's not a celebrity. He's just a dude. Like, but yeah, and it was so funny because he would like tell me to watch the weirdest movies, and I would watch the weirdest. I watched The Thing. Oh,
yeah,
that was the weirdest.
Yeah, I came home. You were just watching The Thing. I was like, "What the fuck are you watching?"
That was the weirdest fucking. movie.
Very out of character for you.
Oh, my Lord. Well, because he would be, we'd watch it at the same time, and then like we'd be talking on Facebook, and he would be like, "Oh, watch this part," and I'd be like, "Oh my fucking god, this movie's weird." And we talked like that for a while, but then it kind of got to a point where like, if we would try to talk about some more serious things, like I'm a teacher, and he has a lot of strong opinions about the educational system, which is fine. Like a lot of people do, but I don't know, some of the stuff he would say would kind of like offend me, which I would try to kind of be like, just chill out, you know, all of his stuff's offensive. Like that's kind of his motive, is to make these crazy videos that kind of, but I don't know, it was like with how much we were talking and stuff, and I thought we were pretty good friends at that point, and then he would say stuff and I would get kind of offended, and I would tell him to like back off, and just kind of after a while our friendship just kind of
Took a back seat
for a while. And I mean, we every now and then we'll kind of message each other and be like, hey, what's up, and we'll have like a 3-sentence hello, but nothing like, I wouldn't say we're great pals or anything, but I just think I was too sensitive, I think, for the kind of person he is. Like, he's really nice. He really is nice. And he's super chill, super laid back, so I don't want people to think he's like this horrible person. But
no, he's cool.
Yeah, I'm just a sensitive person, I guess. Like, we got on this conversation about our moms or something, and then we got pissed off at each other about talking about our mom. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of going off now, but...
Yeah. more of that story, man. That's cool.
I would like to be...
I know.
One of his
Yeah,
friends.
you'd be perfect for him, because you're not sensitive
It's
at all.
just... I'm afraid to talk to him and stuff.
He's so goddamn chill. Like, if you messaged him and say, like, hi, he'd be like, yo.
Yeah, but it's like, if he didn't respond, I would be heartbroken. Probably
yeah, like if you saw that it...
have my opinion changed of him and that kind of stuff. So that's why it's like...
I wouldn't think that.
I'm afraid.
He's kind of a hermit. He has a lot of, like, social anxiety and depression, which, that's not a secret, because he even posted about it on his brain dump video.
Yeah, that's where it's like... I feel bad for him with that kind of stuff, and I would like to... Because, alright, with artists like that, there's a point where it's almost cartoony, where they're making fun of themselves, and then there's a point where it seems like they're being true.
Yeah.
And with him, I can't really tell where that line is, and it makes me... I kind of take pity on him, but I also want to be, like, his friend to help him out and stuff.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Just in the couple months that I was talking to him a lot, he's just, he's kind of a hermit, just smokes a lot of weed. Between smoking weed and doing his cartoons, that's like all he did. He moved back to Massachusetts, because that's where he's from. So, I mean, who knows, he might have, you know, his childhood friends and stuff there now. So, I mean, I'm not like an expert on him, and I don't want to insult him at all.
He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude. He's just kind of a loner.
You should just be like, yo, Kyle, my friend, likes you a lot. He's just afraid to talk to you.
I mean, I certainly could, but I don't think he'd give a fuck what.
You should.
I will. Okay, I'll do it. I just texted him the other day because he posted something on Facebook about like how he's going through a rough time or something's going on. I texted him and asked him if he was all right, and he was like, "Nah, I'm dying." And that was it. And I was like, "What?" He didn't say anything else after that. So
that's rough.
So, I mean, I do kind of, like, feel bad for the guy because I think he's... I mean, we all have problems.
Yeah.
But, he's cool. He makes amazing cartoons. Like, holy shit. He was offered a job on Teen Titans Go as a storyboard artist, but he turned it down. And he told me he regrets that because he loves that show.
I hate that show so much.
But he just doesn't like dealing with people. He doesn't like having to answer to bosses. He likes doing his own thing. I'm like amazed
I can
though.
respect that.
Yeah, I'm like amazed at his animations though. They're so well
Man,
done.
like I don't remember where this was. It was a while back, but he basically just said he was gonna learn Maya in his like 3D modeling in his own time. And man, he learned more in a month than I did at 4 years of college.
It was amazing, like what he does. Like on
Well, like,
on Brain Dump, that's what that is. It's like 3D.
yeah. Well, like the first time I really noticed it was his Five Nights at Freddy video.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, that's amazingly well done. Just for like, he doesn't have a team working.
No,
Yeah,
that's
all
all
by
isn't it?
himself.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
fucking impressive.
He did all those-
Just like his Animal Crossing too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was. So I talked to him when he was making that, and originally he wasn't gonna finish it. He had like started it, and he was like, "I don't think I'm gonna finish it because he had done all these big crowds, and he said like doing the crowds was just too much to animate."
Yeah.
But I told him.
believe it.
I mean, I highly doubt I influenced him, but I was just like, "Oh, you totally should," because like Animal
Crossing New Leaf.
New Leaf had just come out, and it was really popular.
Make a game called Animal
Leaf.
It's the Chinese knockoff.
And he was all upset because he didn't
Yeah.
like the voice acting in it, and he was like, I should recast the voice acting.
Yeah.
Because it was like his ex-girlfriend used to do all the girl voices in his stuff.
Even him as a voice actor is fucking
Right?
awesome.
Dude, he's
he does
really
a really good voice.
He did like the Jack Skellington voice, and it sounded like just like him.
Yeah.
And he's like really
That's
good.
why I would love to be that guy's friend. You should totally.
Alright, I will. I'll hit him up.
I'm afraid.
I doubt he'll answer me, but I'll hit him up just because I'm a hoverer and I'm sensitive.
You're a beautiful woman, and I love you.
Do you guys have any other stories?
I can't think of any. So yeah, tell your super cool story that we teased, Kyle, because I like this story.
Well, see, I don't. For me, it's weird because it's not like it happened. It was at an event. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean,
Like the Max thing, it kind of happened, which was cool.
most of
But,
our stories
like,
are meeting people at a convention, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I met Elvira last year.
Oh, yeah.
She does voice acting.
I guess so.
But see, that was
Madam West.
that was the same thing.
For 2 seconds.
How you guys were at the conventions, where they wouldn't let you take pictures and shit.
Oh yeah.
I think it was just them, because she was really cool too, and she was like, "Oh, you should have went to my book signing in L.A. You could have taken pictures with me and stuff like that." So
Someday.
people at events are kind of assholes.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, Elvira was really cool. She's still really pretty. Anyways, so I think since January, I'm really big into toys. If nobody knew that,
I didn't know
I
that.
have like 5. I have 5 big cases at home just full of toys, and I'm working on getting a 6th one.
Jesus. I admire the dedication.
Yeah, I fucking love toys. Well, anyways, so I follow this toy company called 3D Retro, and they did a show last year with my favorite artist. And it was my favorite artist and Mark Hamill's son did a toy together.
Nice.
And they did a Frankenstein, and it was like one guy drew one side, the other guy drew the other side, and they made a toy of it.
Cool.
So it really looked like a Frankenstein since it was like 2 different styles pieced together. So I had went to that event, I had fun, whatever. I've been watching them on Facebook, all these social media things. Well, they were like, we're going to be doing an Adult Swim party. And that's all they said. And then they're like, oh, look at Kid Robot's new figure. And it was for Rick and Morty. I thought that was really cool. And then they were like, oh, and we're also doing an Adult Swim, like, blind box set. Those look like shit. I have a thing with it. Kid Robot makes... They use the same body and then a different head.
Right.
And it always looks awful. And then when you look at Funko stuff, it's like different molds, whatever. I don't like that as a toy liker.
The toy enthusiast.
Toy enthusiast.
Yeah, so then they were like, oh, we're gonna have the creators here, and they're gonna be signing. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go here. So, since maybe around January, they keep updating stuff. Oh, we're gonna have the Robot Chicken crew is gonna be with us, and that's all they said. Because they had Robot Chicken toys in that mini set.
Mm-hmm.
So I keep hearing stuff, whatever. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. I'm gonna have to go. And then I find out I work on that day.
Aw.
I was like, fuck. Well, anyways, I had been asking all week, yo, can I get this day off? My bosses are just being dicks about it.
Poor Kyle.
So I ended up calling off that day.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, 2 nights before, they're like, yo, you have to purchase something in order to get something signed.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you have to buy either one of the small sets or the big figure in order to get something signed, and we're gonna sell it at 4. So we got there probably around 4. There was a little line, maybe 20 people. That's not too big.
Yeah.
With the shit that I've seen, no, that's not too big. So, I think our numbers was 45 and 46, so we were that much in line.
Yeah.
So anyways, we bought the figure, and we kind of just waited from 4 to 8 o'clock.
Jesus.
So we were around this area for like 4 hours. And they had food trucks and all this stuff, so we were just kind of hanging out in that area. Anyways, I guess a shitload of people came, and they didn't see that message, so they were all bummed out, because they gave you a ticket when you bought something. So that part was over, so a bunch of people came over, and they couldn't get anything.
That
So
sucks.
it was hilarious. Fuck them.
Alright then. Kyle's like, more for me.
So, yeah, exactly. So anyways, people were all pissed off, whatever. And then they start calling people's numbers. I saw people were lined up by the door, and it was around like 7 o'clock. So it's like, oh shit, we gotta get there. So they started calling people's numbers. And they're like, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, you're not there? 4, 5, and 6. So these people hanging around the fucking food trucks didn't hear their number
dude.
called. And they missed out on their shit.
Oh, that sucks.
Fucking hilarious.
Kyle, what is wrong with you?
Well, no, because they fucking said signing is going to be at this time.
Yeah, it's their fault.
Yeah.
Purchases is at this time. If you can't read that shit, I don't feel bad for you, because I read it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we got in there. I got my figure and everything. And I met Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon, they're the creators, but I want to say it's mostly Roiland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for anybody who doesn't really know Roiland, I even told him this, and he was like, holy shit. I've been a fan of his almost more than 10 years now. Because he was doing these cartoons, House of Cosby.
You don't know about House of Cosby?
Oh, House of Cosby's was this guy. He watched a Cosby performance doing stand-up. He loved them so much, he found a hair, and then he built a cloning machine so he could have his own Cosby.
Okay.
But one wasn't enough, so he had to have more. And he just kept cloning them, and each Cosby had different powers and stuff.
It's weird.
Like every 10th
then-
Cosby had superpowers.
What?
Yeah. So, like,
Why do they keep cloning them?
It's a fucking cartoon.
because he won, because,
Now we have 1,000
with the
sex
story-
offenders.
Oh boy.
with the story, it was every 10-1 has, like, superpowers, and they could they could cure, like, diseases or solve world hunger and stuff, so he had to keep doing it.
It's amazing.
Well, anyways, Roiland got a cease and desist from Cosby.
Sure did.
Awesome.
And he had to stop doing them.
That's hilarious.
'Cause they were gonna take legal action. But I mean, this is shit from like high school, middle school.
Yeah, like 2006 or 7.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. So
I only heard about it.
I've been kind of
recently
following
when
his
they
stuff.
Did you know
Yeah.
thing on him, or
Yeah.
100 facts or something?
So, but other than that, he's done like the voice of Lemongrab, which
Yeah.
is like one of my favorite characters.
So weird.
He did Brendan Blandon from Gravity Falls.
Time traveler
Yeah.
guy.
Lemon
Just
Grab.
anybody with like a voice like
we
that
were
is
just
basically
like,
him.
how has he not just destroyed his vocal cords?
Especially when he does
Yeah,
lemon grab, he's
the
just
shit he
screaming to the
does.
whole
He
thing.
literally is just screaming the whole time.
That's like a guy that I respect though, because they say when he would do Rick, he would like chug a Pepsi.
Or, like-
Well, he
and it
says
would
he-
make him burp.
Yeah, he
fat
drinks
beer or
light beer to do
something.
the burp takes.
Yeah, with like a fuck ton of water. Or
Okay.
something.
Yeah, I gotta respect that. That's fucking cool. So back to my story. I met Dan Harmon and Royland, and I'm like, oh shit, I've been a fan since, House of Cosby's. And he's like, holy shit, that's a long time. I guess him and Harmon were working on I forget what it was called. It was some
Yeah.
like web
Yeah,
show.
it was some website that did the web shows like back in the thing, and I think like it was headed up by Harmon, and I think it wasn't like
Yeah.
Channel 101 or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what
yeah,
it was.
And Royland worked for him making animations and stuff.
So they were like, oh shit, did you see this? And I'm like, oh, I don't think I've seen that. It was like Laser Fart or something like that.
Laser fart.
I don't. Yeah, it was something like that. I'm like, no, I haven't seen that. But like I don't know too much about Harmon. I never watched Community. I know that's kind of your thing.
Yeah, I liked Community. It was a good show.
I never really watched it.
But-
Is he in it?
Dan Harmon made that show.
Oh.
So we talked for a little bit, and then Harmon was like, man, how long did it take to grow your hair and beard? And I was like,
they
oh,
asked you
maybe
that.
around. Yeah, anybody asks me that.
I ask you that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, maybe 3 years. And then they're like, hey, Seth Green. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And Seth Green was there.
Oh my
He was
God,
part of the
I'm
Robot
so
Chicken
jealous.
crew. So they're like, hey, we found your stunt
Oh
double.
my god.
And then like the people for the event are like, hey, why don't you pose with him? We'll take pictures. So they took pictures of me and Seth Green together,
Hilarious.
but not with my phone.
Oh.
So I don't have any pictures. And then they were like, hey, can you guys do a profile? So he had me stare into his eyes for like a good 2 minutes, and he kept making faces at me to make me laugh
Hilarious.
and stuff. So me and him like stared deeply into
Oh my
each
God.
other's eyes for like a good 2 minutes. And then he was just saying, whoa, this is weird, because he was wearing a leather jacket, I was wearing a leather jacket. It's just, we're both redheads, so they were making fun of us
Awesome.
about that. I really hope pictures surface.
Yeah,
I wanna see this so bad.
Be really cool.
But I told Seth Green, I was like, man, I really liked you on Ninja Turtles. It was really cool the way they changed the voice.
I like Seth Green always.
And he was like, yeah, it was like the best 2 seasons of my
Aw.
life. And then
They only had 2 seasons.
he
of this
said
show?
he used...
Well, no, because they brought Seth Green on in like the 3rd season to replace Jason Biggs.
Oh.
And then this season of Ninja Turtles is the last season they're doing for this show,
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
which sucks, but I like that show.
I never watched it.
So he was like, yeah, I've been a fan of the Turtles for a long time. I used to collect the black and white 80s ones. I was like, oh shit. So we talked about that for a little bit, and then he signed my figure, which I thought was cool because it's a Rick and Morty figure. He doesn't
Yeah,
work
so
on that
why
show.
would Seth Green sign it?
Why not?
Well, I just thought, what the hell? Why
Yeah.
not? So he signed my figure, and then when I was leaving, he was like, oh, here's a comic book too, and he
Nice.
gave me a free Rick and Morty comic.
That's awesome.
And I thought that was cool, but yeah,
It's really cool.
I'm really sad I didn't
I
get a picture
know.
of
Well,
him.
hopefully the toy store or somebody posts it. Have
Hopefully,
you checked
'cause
their
it was-
Twitters or anything?
Yeah, I've been checking daily, but it was like I had a giant clipboard with my art because
Carry that with you everywhere.
Well, no, it was because I had to wait for 4 hours, and I felt like, oh, I could just draw or something. So I had that with me. I had this giant box for the figure. I had the figure out, so I'm holding a clipboard, figure, and box, and a comic book now. And it's like I can't really take my phone out to take a picture with the guy.
Yeah.
So, kind of sad,
Yeah, it
but...
sucks. Do you think they would have let you take a picture if you'd asked?
Oh, of course. They have a bunch of fan pictures
Yeah.
of them hanging out and stuff. But it just was cool that, I don't know, Seth Green was super
That
chill
was awesome.
guy.
I fucking love him. I have such a celebrity crush on him.
Little Seth Green.
Oh my god, I love
He's short
him.
too.
He's so cute.
How short was he in real life?
Dude.
Yeah, he's...
So when they were taking pictures of us, I didn't notice, but he was on his tippy toes.
Oh,
I think he's 5'4" and I'm 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah.
so cute.
So yeah,
amazing.
but he was behind a counter. He was just leaning towards me, so I think he was on his tippy toes.
Oh, Seth Green.
That's awesome.
But yeah, he was chill as fuck. I liked
He's so
that
cute.
whole crew.
Such a nerd.
Oh, and the one thing, I guess it was the head dude of the Stupid Buddy Productions. That guy was there too, and I could have brought up Buddy Thunderstruck, but I
Aw,
never did.
man, there's a lot of fucking people there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It was really awesome. I love doing shows
I'm
like
so
that.
jealous we didn't move to California.
Yeah. Kyle gets to go to all these cool, like, animator parties and stuff, and like, I want to go to these
Yeah, that's
parties
really
and meet
awesome.
cool people. Schmooze with people.
Shoes, baby.
Schmoozing.
Schmoozing is fun.
Well, Kyle, do you have any more stories you'd like to reveal to the people?
I think that's all I got.
Neat.
Yeah, I think that's all I got,
Okay,
man.
cool. Well, there you go, people. There's some stories for you about some semi-famous people we've met.
We met Adam West.
Yeah, for like 3 seconds.
We were an asshole.
Adam Wee.
Adam Wee.
Okay, fine. Quick story here before we go. Yeah, we went to a comic convention in downtown Cincinnati. Adam West was there. He's super senile now. We were gonna we waited in line to get a picture signed from him. And
we learned.
And they didn't tell us until we got up there that, hey,
It was like $80.
it was like $100.
It was really
It was
expensive.
like $80 to $100 to
Fuck.
get just a signed picture of Adam West.
But he had already signed it.
Well,
for
yeah.
us.
Well, they didn't tell us that till up front, and they didn't take card.
Yeah.
So Adam West, being the doddering senile old man that he is, had already signed a picture for us and gave it to us. And Mel had promised to come back and pay for it, and we just left.
We just left.
I would have done the same
So
thing.
we just
Fuck
have
that,
this
man.
free.
I just felt bad because Adam West is just like this
He's
old,
so old.
like he had no idea what was going on.
No.
He was just sitting there, like just
Yeah.
quietly mumbling
He
to
gave
himself.
us a handshake. He was all cute.
Yeah, I mean he's like fucking almost 90.
Yeah, I don't know who his like manager was there though, but his manager was an a-hole.
Well, you know.
I met Stan Lee at a signing thing too, and he was just fucking decrepit.
Oh, we were trying. I wanted to meet Stan Lee because he was coming to the convention this year.
Right.
But it was like too long of a wait.
Yeah.
He had like 2 guys holding him up.
Oh, I mean,
Like it didn't seem like he could walk by
It's
himself
sad
anymore.
seeing like actual footage of Stan Lee versus like his cameos in the Marvel movies. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how long it takes to do those.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
They said that he's an actual character
Oh yeah.
in those cameos.
So-
That's like that's been such a fan theory for so long, but like Kevin Feige just like fuck it, that's what it is.
love it.
Like
Yeah.
I don't think that's like an official thing they've been planning. Kevin Feige is just like sure, why not?
Yeah, I think it started as just a cute little.
Yeah, but he's like the Watcher or something, like this cosmic entity that just watches
Seriously?
everything. That's
Oh
what they
my
said he is.
God, Are
Yeah.
you serious?
I think because fans have been saying that for years because he shows up and everything,
But he was Hugh Hefner in one of the.
he was Hugh Hefner
Like,
in one
come
of
on,
them,
that's not-
and Larry King. Stan Lee's awesome. I'm gonna be sad when he dies.
I think a lot of us will be.
From what I've read, dude, I wouldn't. He's fucked his partner over so
Yeah.
bad.
Oh, really?
That whole him and Jack Kirby's relationship is a whole show in itself.
Oh, jeez.
But
Yeah.
That's sad.
So yeah, there you go, people. There's famous people we've met.
Yay.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you've met any voice actors or animator people or just celebrities in general. We don't care.
Yeah.
We like hearing stories. So
Oh yeah.
oh
I have one more
God
story.
damn it, Kyle.
And it may or may not be a thing.
Oh.
So one time I went to Disneyland and I was hanging out with a friend. And we were walking around. We saw this guy that looked like Johnny Depp. And he was short like Johnny Depp and everything. And my friend was making fun of him like, "Ooh, look, I'm Johnny Depp," like right next to him.
Jesus Christ.
Just making fun of him like, "Look at me, I'm Johnny Depp. I'm walking by myself."
Was it Johnny Depp?
Yeah,
Oh my
and then I'm
god,
like-
shut up!
It really was him. And I'm
Dude.
like, holy shit. He actually has like a hotel room, like his own place.
That's fucking hilarious.
So he was hanging out over there. My friend was making fun of him.
Aw.
I think that's funny as fuck.
Set.
We never like went up and approached him, but it was totally him. He was wearing like the fedora
Oh
hat
my god.
or whatever
That's
he wears,
hilarious.
the sunglasses. He had that fucking goatee look.
God.
Awesome.
Totally him.
I
But
would
yeah.
probably have done the same thing though. I don't think if I saw a celebrity on the street I would know.
No.
How did you find out it was actually Johnny Depp? Did he say I'm actually Johnny Depp?
We heard later on that he was there that day. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Oh, Kyle. You and your friends. But,
that's all I
okay.
got.
So for the third time, I'm trying to end this show. So yeah, make sure leave us a comment if you've met some people. We'd like to know about that because that would be cool. But yeah, so until next week, guys, we'll catch y'all later. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you for listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast. If you like this episode, remember to share it, leave a comment, write a review, tell your mom, all that good stuff. Also, be sure to follow the show on Facebook where we post animation news and discussion topics daily. Thanks again, and we will see you in the next episode.